Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then a very warm welcome to you as well. Now in today's video I am going to be playing about with the Sense hat for the Raspberry Pi. Now I actually got this as part of taking part of the AstroPi competition a good few years ago now when I was still in high school, and it's just been lying in my drawer for a while, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to just pull it out, have a play around, make a little nice chill video. I'll just be going through a Raspberry Pi tutorial and just showing off the types of things that you can do with a Sense hat. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So, like I showed you before, this is the Sense hat. Now, for those of you who maybe don't know, the Sense hat is an add-on for your Raspberry Pi that was actually made specifically for the AstroPi competition, which I'll talk a little bit about in this video. But basically, here it is. You attach it on to the GPIO pins as you would any other hat for your Raspberry Pi, and it has an LED matrix that you can use for displaying text or playing games or generally just lighting up and having fun. They're all RGB, I believe. Now, as well as having this cool little LED matrix, you can actually measure temperature, humidity, pressure and orientation using the built-in sensors. Now, to set this up, like I said before, literally all you gotta do is just push it down onto your pins, although mine are a little bit skewy just now. It's quite difficult, so try not to break anything. You can also add a little standoff, but because I'm not planning to keep this on here, I'm not going to bother. And yeah, that's literally it. Your Sense hat is up and running. I'm going to go away and plug this all in, set it all up on my laptop so I can show you what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm just going to follow along a little tutorial that is on the Raspberry Pi website and just show you what types of cool things you can do with it. Okay, so I have set up my Sense hat, plugged it all in, set it all up for SSH, and just a very quick tip here, but if you are setting up a Raspberry Pi headless and you need to know the IP address, then download the app Fing, F-I-N-G. Totally not sponsored, there's probably other ones out there, but it basically just scans your network to see what hosts are currently up and available, so like what devices you have online, and it should come up with your Raspberry Pi and show you the IP address for connecting to it. So here's my setup. I have my camera rather precariously set up here so that I can show you close up what's happening, because I know you can't really see there. Hopefully the video is gonna work and it'll be fine. Also, if you watched one of my previous videos, I can't remember which one it was now, but I had a bit of an issue screen recording. I don't know if you can hear from over there, but my laptop is currently on like maximum fans. Like, she is struggling right now. So hopefully this will screen record, but if not, I will put screenshots in of the code that I've written post-production. So yeah, I am just going to go through getting started with the Sense hat. As you can see, this is just a little couple of lines of Python to get it to display some text on the screen. So I don't think I need to download any libraries or anything. I am literally just going to paste that in here, click run. Oh, I'll need to save it first. Sense hat dot Pi. Oh, look at that! Hopefully you can see that on the video. Your video will be up. It'll be on the screen somewhere. But that was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, all of any like Raspberry Pi stuff is always really easy, but I didn't even have to download anything. That's 3 lines of code. Nice. What will we get it to say? I'm just playing around with this, I'm going to be honest with you. Let's put my name. I don't know what it is about LEDs, but they are just so satisfying. And here is a little message for you guys. If you aren't already, then why don't you double check that you're subscribed, and if you get to the end of the video and you enjoyed it, maybe you will consider joining all 660 of us now in our little digital making group thing. I'm probably going to cut that out because it's really cringe. Okay, so here is a little piece. I know I could be doing this like properly, but I just want to show you what you can do with the Sense Hat. So here is a little piece of code that, by the looks of it, probably I'd understand if I read through it properly, but you know, who needs instructions? We have blue and yellow, and oh, I think this is gonna display AstroPi is awesome with yellow text on a blue background by the look of it, and as you can see, yeah, you can change the colour of your text, of the background, and also the scroll speed as well, so that's probably quite useful. Alright, let's go ahead and throw this in here. Oh, that's so cool. It's such a cool display. I know it's literally just RGB LEDs, but I am a sucker for anything RGB, and it's just really cool. And as you can see, it's a wild true loop, so it's just going to keep saying that. That is really, really bright, and I just looked directly at it, so we're going to stop that. Okay, now this little bit at the end here looks quite fun. We have our variables all set up here for the different colours. We also have a little pick random colour function that will just generate some random colours by picking just a random number between 0 and 255 in R, G and B, as you can see here. So I'm going to just copy this over and change it to my name. Okay, so I have copied this over and I have replaced the name Laura with my name, Alora, because they're basically the same anyway. My camera actually just stopped recording there, so that's why things might look a little bit different. I'm just waiting for this to stop shaking and then we will press run. This is so much fun. I know we haven't even got into like the temperature and stuff. I love these little LEDs. Okay, so you can also fill the LED matrix with a single colour and set individual pixels. So we have a little mystery piece of code here, which I'm gonna guess probably makes a rainbow, or maybe like the Raspberry Pi logo. I don't know, I haven't looked at it properly. But let's see what this does. Oh, it's a smiley face. Oh, look at that. I wonder, can we make the Raspberry Pi logo? Okay, so I think I have managed to create the Raspberry Pi logo. I did it super duper quickly, so we will see if this actually works. Oh, kind of. Not really. Yeah, that wasn't entirely what I was going for. I gotta be honest with you. Alright, what have I done wrong? But hey, that's pretty good. It took me longer than it should have done. Is it recording? Yeah, it took me longer than it probably should have done, but there you go, a little Raspberry Pi logo. Okay, so now we've had a little bit of fun with just the pixels. They have some example code here to get the current temperature, pressure, and humidity and display them on the screen. Now, the reason these sensors are on here, like I said before, is because this was actually designed for the AstroPi competition, and that's how I have this sensor. I took part in it when I was still in high school, so quite a while ago now. And it's basically a competition that's run in conjunction with the European Space Agency that gives young people the chance to run their own code or experiment in space. Yeah, so when I did it, my idea was to kind of create a circadian rhythm kind of based experiment. So the astronauts would like log how well they slept, whether they dreamt, what kind of time they were eating, and all this would be coincided with things like the temperature and humidity, and seeing how the environment within the space station affects the astronauts' circadian rhythm, obviously being up in space and not having a normal, 9 to 5 routine, and also creating a little reaction game to test the astronauts' reaction times and compare that to how well they are sleeping, because obviously being on a space station, you kind of need to have your wits about you, I would imagine. So yeah, that was kind of my idea. It didn't get through or anything, it was by no means groundbreaking, but it's a really, really fun competition to kind of get young people, you know, using Raspberry Pis, they may have never used them before, and kind of thinking outside of the box of what you can do within the constraint of the sensors and what you have, you know, available that you can just send up to space. And yeah, really, really cool competition. So I've just copied over this example code here, which will display the current temperature, pressure and humidity scrolling on the screen. So hopefully that's all recording and I can hit run. And the temperature is currently 36 degrees. Oh, okay, that's because the Pi is probably hot. The pressure is whatever, and the humidity is a number. I don't really know what you measure humidity in. If you get your hands on this, this might be a good kind of DIY Enviro hat. I'm pretty sure the Pimoroni do a very similar thing to the Grow hat, as you will have seen a lot on this channel, but the Enviro hat measures the temperature and humidity in general environment stuff, I believe. I haven't properly looked into it, but I might do. You could probably do a similar thing with the Sense hat. So maybe, you know, kind of DIY it a little bit more if you're only wanting to measure certain things and give a specific output on the display. Might be handy to chuck in a greenhouse or something, I don't really know. There's lots of different things that you could do with the sensors available, and if anyone has played around with the Sense hat before, or even just similar sensor things with the Raspberry Pi, I'd be very intrigued to see what you have done with them. So yeah, please feel free to share in the comments down below. So as I briefly mentioned before, there is a tiny little joystick on the Sense hat, giving it just that extra layer of functionality where you can have some level of user input. So I'm just going to chuck in the example code here for changing the colour based on the direction that the joystick has been clicked. Up goes red, down is blue, left, no, your right is yellow, green, left is green, oh dear, and the middle clears it. Now, on this getting started with the Sense hat project, they do have a final sort of challenge, and also they show you the code to create a little reaction game where an arrow is displayed and you have to rotate the device so that the arrow is pointing up the way and your score will increase. Now that's obviously using the accelerometer, which I haven't really gone into in here. The reason for that is that the Raspberry Pi that I am using this on has a very dodgy and slightly bent out of shape power supply connector, so I don't really want to move it because I feel like it's going to come unplugged and it's just a bit of a pain. So if you do have a Sense hat, or even if you don't, because they actually have an emulator for playing about with the kind of functionality of it, yeah, go check it out. It's really cool. Like you said, you can either do it yourself or you can just take the code that they have. So yeah, I know this wasn't a particularly educational video. I didn't really have an end goal. I just honestly wanted to get this out. I haven't used it in so long. Play about with it, remind myself what you can do, show you guys what you can do, and yeah, like I said before, if you have a Sense hat or something similar, I'd love to hear what you have done with it or are currently doing with it, so please leave a comment down below. And as always, if you have enjoyed this video or you are coming back and have seen a couple of my videos and aren't yet subscribed, then do hit that subscribe button because it helps out loads and I would just really appreciate it. So yeah, that's all from me in this video. I'm going to go away and make sure this was recorded fine and let my laptop cool down, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you later.